On BC, this is Spirit Cars. We're live at 11:05, and here we are. Well, this isn't live at 11:05. We're not live, and it's not 11:05. This is Spirit Cars, and I am BC. I think what we're going to do here, I haven't done videos for a while. We're going to do a past, present, and future. This is where it all started for me. This was my first office when we moved to Flippin, and now this is Josh's office. So Josh is, I haven't been part of the day-to-day for a couple of years, but I'm going to get back into it. So this is my first video going on to that. So maybe you can help us out with a suggestion. We need a different name. Live 1105 won't work. And technically, this is bigger than Spirit Cars right now, but we'll worry about that here in a little bit. Must be busy around here though, because man, I'm looking at a pile of titles here and stuff everywhere. So I'm in Josh's office, but we're going to move him out of this one. So let's move on to the next office. Well, here I am in my second office now. Well, when I was in my first office, we were trying to get the place. We just moved here, get everything going at once. It was like chaos everywhere. And it was a big warehouse building with spaces here. So we actually had to make the offices into something usable. So after I moved out of that office, I moved into this one. It used to have a couple of cabinets there with cars and everything else. This is Sean's office right now. So I moved out of this office right after I believe we took the desk and cut it up. Yeah, I think that's true. So after I cut up my desk, we rebuilt it. We turned it into a car desk. It was on a TV show called, what was that called? Motorhead Traveler. It showed on MAV TV, so that was fun. It was good. So this area was like a little cubby that had my car desk in it. I moved all my stuff here, and at that point I didn't use that desk anymore. I was more in the shop. When I was at my desk that you were just seeing me at, I was more running production there. So I think after that happened and I got production here, I don't think I was doing much on the phones at all. Don't know, but let's go to the next desk. Maybe I can remember. Well, welcome to the desk that I probably spent my most time with at Spirit Cars. This is an old lawyer's desk that was in my office for, actually it had those things on both sides. And what happened, the Motorhead Traveler came into town and wanted to do a TV show. And I thought, okay, fine, we'll do that with you. But I had seen this old Imperial front end years before in a junkyard. I said, that's a desk that I want to make someday. So when he came, I thought, okay, we'll do that. But while we're doing that, I want to make a desk too. So I had his camera crew kind of focus on us more than they were on him. And it wound up, we could have got a TV deal out of it with MAV TV, but with everything else going on, it just wasn't good timing for us. Anyway, cut the ends off of the front of my desk, whacked this, did it, got it, put it all together, and actually called the girls and told, we have all my grandkids here. At such and so a time, I masked this up and gave them all some paint. And one was yellow and one was orange and red. I said, don't turn it into brown and just do that. And they unmasked it, so they put the flames in there. So after I did that, I moved it out. We put it into one of those spots where you were looking at the couch there. And if I put this in order, we're actually editing this. This isn't a live video, so it may be in a spot where right after that was before this one or after, whichever. But this is going to be Josh's new desk. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Good. This will be, and we built it kind of to be in the showroom. Here you are, you're looking at it. In the work sales, this will be good. Have to get you a couple chairs. Boy, if I was sitting on that side of the desk, I'd want a hot rod car. So anyway, this was the one. Show them this desk over there. So as we got our showrooms and got our offices fixed, I had a desk that we traveled around for, I think every building we've had, this was kind of a reception area desk. And we had it in this area right here. And I know I had this desk for a little while. I don't know why I had this desk, but at the time it was just like, oh, we'll make this desk, you use that one. Josh was over there. We had somebody else in the one over there. But This was a desk and now it's not. I like the couch better, but retirement didn't last, so we better go to another desk. This is something that I built a long time ago. I've had this since the beginning. It's been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings. 5 buildings. We originally built this. It was a reception area. It didn't have this part of the desk. What do I got under here? I must have found a desk from somewhere. It had a different kind of shorter desk and a bunch of stuff, but it was about this tall. And actually Jesse helped me do all this. It's kind of rough now, but back in the day it looked pretty cool. And so then I stuck it in here. This is a good work area. Got some of my stuff. Got a nice little fish bowl, and here's a sculpture we call mother and daughter. Daughter being the egg. Kind of some stuff. My grandson Gavin is all into geckos, so we built him a gecko cage so we don't. This is just it. This was kind of a temporary desk while I was moving from one office to another. So it's up here now. I think it'll just be here. Actually, we were going to get somebody else here to work sales. If we get 2 salespeople, maybe we'll have somebody here. Other than that, I mean, we need to move to the present, and then we'll look into the future. So after I left Spirit, I was about on my way out. The flu showed up. And my son, he had a 3-year role in China. Luckily, he was on vacation. I think he was in Vietnam or Laos or Cambodia or somewhere. And with a couple other families. One happened to be from the consulate, so they made the decision to come back home to Mountain Home, Arkansas instead of go back home to China. And which is good timing because they got here. We could probably blame him because his territory was China. And he was in Wuhan about 2 weeks before he went on vacation. So, but it was already on our shores or whatever. So we can't blame him. We don't do that. But I've always told my kids, and I'm telling my grandkids too, you don't win in the good times. Anybody can do that. So when he came back, he stayed here. He ran his China team from the house. And then the old grocery store, the old Town and Country grocery store here, which is now Trinity, became up for auction. It sat empty for 14 years, 15 years, and was in dire need of repair. And like I said, when times are a little tough, you just get in there and make it happen. That's how you win. So as the rest of the world was hunkered down in fear, we bought this at auction, and he got one heck of a deal. So now I had a temporary role of repurposing an old grocery store that's broken down into a car museum, Spirit, Trinity. It's Trinity Street Rods, and we had a rod shop and a bunch of other stuff. So I temporarily had this office right here. Now it's 2 offices. Bob has got it over there. I haven't been in here I haven't been in this office for a long time, a year. But this was my last office before my current office, I believe. Waiting for my next office. Anyway, this was one of them. Well, I had an exit strategy, and this was my way out right here. This whole area we had, boy, this was all set up pretty cool. I had cars everywhere. There was kind of like a playroom, and my desk was here. This was going to be my last desk. We're prepping to have somebody run manufacturing, and we had someone to do that. And Josh had my first office that we were talking about there. He was with, which is the desk he's got right now, and he's doing sales there. And I was on my way out, but that didn't last long. So this was my spot for a little while. Looks like we're kind of figuring things out. I recognize this. This is Spirit. This is Spirit. Wow. Do we use this stuff anymore? Must not. We must have it figured out. Must be jigs for everything, huh? We've come a long way. Welcome to the present. This is my new office. Well, technically, I guess this is my office. You know, as a young guy, I would make fun of those old men that needed a stool to work. This is like, I don't just got a stool, I am ready. Well, let's go, let me show you my new office. Oh, wait a minute, I forget my chair doesn't fit. I do have a computer on the garbage can sitting there though. And we did take the toilet and the sink out, but I have a refrigerator. It's pretty fancy, huh? Let's check it out.
And you got a TV.
And a TV. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm ready to go. I'll play video games. That's what I'll be doing. So I've moved up to composites for the last, man, I've been up here for a while now. We've had, when I did plan on retire, really honestly I did. And I moved into office number 4, I think there. The one that's now the parts room for the upholstery. I moved into there briefly on my way out to open up some of the offices for someone to manage the entire Spirit, and that didn't work out. And we brought 2 different people in to run composites, and that didn't work out. So I'm finally back with Eric, somebody we worked with for years and years, and I've been working on the molds, getting the molds back into shape, doing some plug building and getting engineering done. But my tour at Ozark Composites, and I actually have my Ozark Composite shirt. Somebody gave me this. Do you remember who gave me this? Was it a customer or just somebody?
It was a customer.
I must have been complaining when I had to move up here, but they gave me this. BC Bob, plastic surgeon, Ozark Composites. So this is Ozark Composites. And really the whole thing where we've been wandering around is kind of under a thing called Chester Holdings. So this is just kind of part of here, there, and everything. So help me out. We need to have a new name for this this format. And I think we're going to do kind of the same. We're going to be looking at the cars we're building. We're going to try to make it educational. And I was going to retire, and then I wound up getting the flu. And then for about a year, I think I was dead for a couple of weeks there. And then it took me a year to actually recover enough to make it to do anything. But I'm actually up and doing it around again. So I'm back in the game at Spirit, which, and I enjoy it. I love it. We don't build cars here, we build dreams, and it's fun to be part of that. So let's go look at the future. Welcome to the future. I've made it out of the bathroom. I'm now in the closet. This is my new home. This is how it's gonna kind of work, I think. Josh is gonna be over at Trinity. I believe he's gonna take over the car desk. And he's gonna do sales over there and all that over there. And I believe we're gonna move parts and everything over there. We've kind of expanded that again. And I'm gonna work with Sean over here in production. And as soon as Josh sells something, whatever, gets a sales order, I'm going to be back, maybe not in the day-to-day, but I'll be here pretty much every day. Right now, I come to the Spirit building maybe once every week, 2 weeks. Josh has got a smile once in a while. But I should be here regular. And I think what we'll do, once we get a sales order, you'll get another call from Spirit with a different phone number. And we will just call you back and welcome you to the Spirit family. And then we can just answer questions and deal with the production side of things after the sale. And Josh will still always be available when you can get him, but he is so busy. It's a crazy world here at Spirit. And so you'll come over here and I may be on the phones again once in a while. So we got the past, we got the present, we're into the future. But some things never change. I mean, there's an old saying that nothing new under the sun. And I used to have trigger time. Trigger time has changed a little bit for me. So let's do trigger time. I know some of you old viewers realize that what trigger time is, but if you're from Mountain Home, I tell you what, there's a group of people that just don't like public education. And if I go Mountain Home Bombers, I can trigger. So I'm going to use my Mountain Home Bomber hat just for trigger time, but you know where trigger always went. It didn't go to necessarily politics, and it's not necessarily education. What really triggers people is the Word of God. Now that will trigger somebody. So I got a word today, and it's a good one. People, and this is out of Proverbs, people might make many plans, but what the Lord says is what will happen.